Hello, and thank you so much for serving on this Sunday, December 8th, 2024. I'm going to give you some quick general knowledge things that I'm putting in every video for this month, just to kind of help us be all on the same page about certain things when we're serving. The first is the schedules that are on the board. There are two versions of the schedule. There's Memory Verse Sunday schedule, and there's the regular class schedule. This month, there is no Memory Verse Sunday because they're going to do the Memory Verse at the Christmas Eve service. So this month, every date is on there. These dates do need to stay on the board. Do not erase them at the end of class because this is the schedule that you will be following. If you notice, the boards need to be cleaned after every class. They get very messy in between classes and they need to be cleaned with the cleaner. So second and third grade and fourth and fifth grade, you guys are sharing this bottle of cleaner until we get another one but just grab some paper towels from the sink and that cleaner to wipe off the board when you leave so that it's ready to go for the next person who's serving, as well as putting away the materials that you used for this week. And that is it for general knowledge for this month. I'm going to go through our kindergarten and first grade and our second and third grade lesson so that you know what to expect when you are serving this week. And you can skip this part if you are not serving in kindergarten and first grade or second and third grade. So everyone has this cover sheet. This is a great summary of everything that we're doing this month. It's got our memory verse, the bright idea. It changes slightly every week, but kind of focuses around the same one. We're doing Zechariah and Elizabeth this week, and it shows you what the he, we, and me questions that will be set during large group. On the back of it is leader training. These are just great tips to help you kind of guide some of your teaching. This isn't part of the actual lesson. This is more just general things that help lend towards good teaching. And then after that, we have our schedule. It is labeled on this page so that you have your times. They're also on the board. They're always color-coded, so when you flip your page, belong is going to be blue, believe will be that light orange, and so forth. And they will be in ordered and also labeled with the title of the activity. So when you flip, you'll see this here. I'm not going to read through each of them. You guys know kind of the schedule that we follow, and you can find these electronic copies in the Google Drive that's sent to you by Kristen, or you can find it in Planning Center as well. So we've got the Make It New, then you're going to go to large group. When you come back, you're going to do the Believe activity for Verse Path, which you have printables. They are right here, ready for you. It says to mix up the images and make a path the kids can walk across, so you'll need to make that path before you do this. Then you're going to jump into your Become activity, Lean on Me. They just need their Bibles for this. And then you're going to do your wrap up, this is where you answer the me question. You choose your challenge off of the take home sheet, which is always located in the lesson plan bin. It has your take home sheets. So you choose a challenge and pray together. You don't want to say goodbye yet because then you'll do your discipleship discussion and they can read through this and how certain themes from the story impact their real lives in today's world. And then you're going to pray together and say goodbye. This will take us to about 11:20. If you have extra time, you can kind of guide discussion with the kids. You can go deeper into the discipleship discussion. Also, this is a great thing that if you feel like you're running short on time, try to work this discussion into the other activities so that you can still hit these points, but maybe in a different time frame. But that is it for our kindergarten and first grade and second and third grade. I'm going to move on to fourth and fifth grade next. So if you're serving in fourth and fifth grade, I'm going to go over your lesson plan next. All right, fourth and fifth grade small group. We have our cover sheet here. As I said earlier, this is just a great overview for the month. It's got your bright idea for the week. They're all under one central monthly bright idea, but they do change a little bit with each week. Your memory verse, the he, we, me questions that are set during large group, as well as the story that we're covering this week in large group, which is Zechariah and Elizabeth. Then we have our leader tips, which these are not specific to this week's lesson. They are just good tips for good, solid teaching with kids and connecting with kids. And then we have our roadmap, which has your the activities in the order as well as the timing of them. They're always color-coded and labeled. They've got titles on there. So when I turn it over, you're going to see the first one. This is the one that you'll do when they first come in, starting at 10 o'clock until 10:10. Amazing challenge. They need graph paper. I bought an entire book of it, so you'll see it in there. If it works to do a half sheet, that's great. Have them tear a half sheet instead so that we can save some for other activities. When they come back from large group, they're going to do this activity, which required printable pages. They are already cut out and in sandwich bags, so there's 4 of them. If you go upstairs, this will need to go in your yellow bag when you go to large groups, so you can take those upstairs. And then following that, they're going to do the Become activity, which is good in the bad. They'll need Bibles. If you do go upstairs, there's plenty of writing utensils upstairs, but you'll just need to take the paper. And then the wrap up, where you answer the me question that was set during large group. Choose your challenge, that comes from their take-home sheet. Pray together, don't say goodbye, because that will come after discipleship discussion. And that is here. So this is looking at this week's story and looking at certain key points in it and how it applies to our lives today, how it could be affecting the kids in their real lives or maybe in lives of friends and family around them. So it's really good discussion to have. If you feel like you're running short on time, try to find a way to work this in at different times, maybe when they're walking upstairs or walking back downstairs, or even during an activity while they're working on something. You can kind of talk about these things while they're working on something. And that is it for our 4th and 5th graders. I'm going to move into the large group classroom to walk us through the large group portion. So if you're teaching large group, you'll want to watch, or if you're just curious to know what we're doing in large group. But otherwise, the video is done for small group portion. So that is it for small groups. All right, now this is for my large group teachers. You guys are going to be teaching about Zechariah and Elizabeth today. So starting here, this is your schedule. One teacher will do the welcome and the find it in the Bible, as well as the Advent portion, which is here. And then a different teacher will teach the Bible teaching, and then we'll jump back to the first teacher for the review and the wrap up. So this is how it's going to look. So our welcome, they are going to need it asks for them to have the printable page, the scissors, and the basket. So that's already prepared. That is actually all here in the cup. They're going to act things out. It had a lot of things for them to act out. I only chose 5 to try and have this go quickly. We might even do less than that to stay within our time frame. Then we have our introduction video, and then we set our he, we, me questions for the story. Next step is find it in the Bible. So understanding where our story this week falls into God's big story. And so they're going to look at where it's located at in Luke 1, those specific verses, to just see where it's located in the Bible. And then the next step is the Bible teaching. Before Bible teaching is when we're going to do the Advent. So we have an Advent candle wreath right here. So the person who's doing the Find It in the Bible will press the on button. It will light up 2 of our purple candles. And we'll talk about how this week represents peace. Last week represented hope. This week represents peace. And we're just going to read this part, the lighting of the Bible. The lighting of the Bible. That would be a problem. Lighting of the candle. And have the kids kind of listen to that and have just a moment of silence before we move into the Bible teaching. So then we're going to move into the Bible teaching. And so all of that is in here. They're going to need sandpaper and chalk for it. So I'm not going to read through all of it. You can look at the electronic copy to see how all of it goes. But they're going to be looking at that story of Zechariah and Elizabeth, and then point to Jesus at the end of it, and then we move into our Bible review. This is a great place if you're running short on time. Choose one or the other to do. You can do the video or the questions. If you have enough time, do both. But if you're running short on time, cut one or the other. And then finally, the wrap up. The he and the we are answered. We talk about the bright idea and what our monthly memory verse is, and then we dismiss. Before monthly memory verse, we pray together, and then we dismiss the 4th and 5th graders out so they can have a little bit more time to get upstairs if they're going upstairs. And then we do the monthly memory verse and the verse video after 4th and 5th graders have lined up and started to exit. And that's when everyone leaves. But that is it for this week. Thank you guys so much for serving, and we'll see you on Sunday.